I figured I'd do a quick vlog thing today. I haven't done one for a while. Well, a couple of weeks. In the Radio Times this week there is an article about children's television, and it's been making me laugh for several days now. It has a list of programmes through the ages, and it's making me feel nostalgic and also very old. I figured I'd share it with you so that I can hopefully make a few of you feel old as well. You're very welcome. There's plenty of stuff on this list which I had forgot existed until I read it. We start in the 1950s, which is pretty much all puppet programmes. There were a lot of puppet programmes in the 1950s. We have Muffin the Mule, Andy Pandy, Bill and Ben, Pinky and Perky. I recognise all of these programmes. I have seen clips of them and stuff in clip shows. I don't think I've ever watched them. The one that I have definitely seen though is Sooty and Sweep, which apparently began in 1955. I don't know about you, but Sooty was definitely on when I was growing up. Fun fact, Arthur Darboux was in Sooty. He used to present for CITV, children's ITV. He had blonde hair, he wore glasses, and he didn't go by Arthur. I think Arthur is his middle name, but don't quote me on that. I saw clips of him on YouTube presenting for CITV, and I remembered him. I remembered him presenting. Which confused me a bit because I'm not that much younger than Arthur Darvill. So either he was really young when he was presenting CITV, or I was really old when I was watching CITV. I suspect it was a little of both. The 1960s, now in colour, Basil Brush. That definitely had a revamp in the 2000s. The Magic Roundabout. I didn't really like the Magic Roundabout. I used to find it creepy. I did like Rainbow though. That's not on this list, that's just... I just thought I'd mention it. The Clangers in 1969. Yep. That's my impression of the Clangers. 1970s, Mr. Ben, 1971. I saw plenty of Mr. Ben when I was a child. It must have been quite old when I was watching it. Bagpuss, 1974. There's a nice helpful picture of Bagpuss. Paddington Bear. I used to really like Paddington Bear. Morph, 1977. I think Morph is still going. Another helpful picture of Morph there. Now we're in the 1980s. I was actually born for a little bit of the 1980s. Postman Pat, 1981. Yep. Pingu. Who hasn't seen Pingu? Spot the Dog began in 1986. I've watched plenty of that. This is making me feel quite old because I suspect that a lot of people won't know what Spot the Dog is. Fireman Sam began in 1987. I was born in 1987. I watched Fireman Sam. Roger and Badger began in 1989. I definitely watched that in the 90s. So there was a man called Bodger, and he had a badger called Badger, who was a puppet, and the badger was obsessed with mashed potato. And there were quite a lot of mashed potato related hijinks that ensued. The 90s, Brum, 1991. I remember Brum. I remember the opening sequence. He was a little car and he was in a museum, and he'd wake up at night and he'd like travel around and have adventures. It was fun. Noddy, the little man is red and yellow car, dee 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 dee. Teletubbies began in 1997. So I was 10 when Teletubbies began, but yet I have seen every single episode of Teletubbies. I'm not ashamed. I'm a bit ashamed. I preferred the Tweenies though, that's also on the list. There's a picture of Milo. I think I am a bit too old for most of these programmes from this century. We've got Charlie and Lola, In the Night Garden, Shaun the Sheep. I've seen Shaun the Sheep. Rastamouse, seen Rastamouse. Strange Hill High, never seen that. 2013 it began. Any of these ringing any bells for you? What did you watch when you were growing up? Are these programmes that you remember? Or does it sound like I have just been spouting nonsense words for the past few minutes? Also, if you're from a different country, did any of these programmes travel to you? I suspect that a lot of them will not have done. What did you watch when you were growing up? This is a great opportunity for us to make ourselves feel really, really old. Won't that be fun? I hope you have a good week. If you are sitting exams soon, then good luck, and I feel your pain. Yeah, see you soon. Do 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 do.